While we here often talk about Switch imports from Japan and Asia, one of the most requested features from the Let's Get Physical community is the differences between the physicals released on either side of the Atlantic. While both North America and Europe pretty much get the same helpings, some do slip through the cracks. And today I'm here to tell you 20 Switch physical games that released in Europe but not North America. If you're new here, don't forget to consider subscribing if you enjoy what you see. This video is sponsored by one of my favorite European publishers, Pixel Heart. Pixel Heart bring classic style gaming to modern audiences and, best of all, physically, because that's what we're all about here. With a wide array of fantastic pick up and play titles, if you like retro gaming built with modern technology, then look no further than the games they published on their website pixelheart.eu. Not only do they publish Switch games, but for all consoles and even retro consoles. Long live the Dreamcast. I highly advise you check out pixelheart.eu, where you can also save 15% off with the code WATCHSHING while checking out. That's all one word, WATCHSHING. Do yourself a favor and pick up my recommendations, Wallachia, Golden Force, Shmup Collection, amongst many other great titles. Thanks to Pixel Heart for sponsoring this video. Now before we get into the video properly, I just want to stress that these are not necessarily the biggest or best games, and this is not even close to being definitive because hey, I've already got 3 more episodes written for the future. I just randomly selected 20 from a bunch of games. Some of them are brilliant, some of them are less than favorable. Some did get a release in Asia, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm also not talking about any low print releases, so no super rare and no strictly limited. This is retail only. Without further ado, let's jump in. Let's start with a game from our sponsor, Shing. This is a fun little beat-em up. I showed this European physical off not too long ago. It is by Pixel Heart. It's a great game featuring samurai beating the crap out of Oni, so you can't possibly go wrong with that. It can be played with 4 people locally and has an interesting take on pulling off special attacks, so it's classic beat-em up with something a little bit unique to go with it. Pixelheart.eu if you want to pick this up. Watch Shing for 15% off. Yono and the Celestial Elephants is a super obscure physical release in Europe. This is one of the early indie titles touted by Nintendo during the early days of the Switch. This is a cute adventure puzzle game starring an elephant. How lovely. While it's more common to find the French box art for this release, there is an English cover variant out there, but it's not easy to get a hold of. I've got myself a Belgian version which does have English on the front cover, but there is a full English one out there somewhere if that matters to you. Combining 2 games into one entry because I'm such a bloody generous dude, we have the 2 Leisure Suit Larry games. We have Wet Dreams Don't Dry and its sequel Wet Dreams Dry Twice. These are both adventure games, an acquired taste. They are not subtle in their innuendo-filled humor. It's all about the phallic funnies here. Thing is, these 2 aren't particularly easy to get a hold of these days, so keep a lookout. Prints were low, prices are only gonna go up. Waifu Uncovered. How could I possibly make a video like this without talking about my arch nemesis? One of the worst games I've ever reviewed, and you guys kept buying it just to show it to me and shove it in my face. Love you. This is an awful shooter with the only redeemable gimmick being you get to see nude ladies the more aliens you blow up. Sounds great until you play it and then you realize you hate your very existence. This European exclusive physical has bonus materials including nutty cards. Import links below if you have to be one of those people. Thank you for your support. Please buy it. Kowloon High School Chronicles is an old-school dungeon-crawling JRPG that was originally made on the PS2 and released only in Japan, but thanks to the great people over at P-Cube, we've finally got an English localization on the Nintendo Switch, but the physical is only available in Europe, so it looks like North Americans are still missing out in some way. It's digital only over there. It may look a little dated in places, but for me, it's a nice time capsule into something we missed out on. It even got a mini collector's edition on funstock.co.uk. Unravel 2 is a cute little platformer from EA when they do their once per year indie title. This is a nice little game for those looking for some co-op action at the same time with puzzle solving to go along with it. If you're looking for some indie but with polish and great presentation, then look no further than Unravel 2. It's not particularly expensive to get a hold of, at least not at the time of writing. Snooker 19 could be a 2-in-1 entry considering there's a standard edition and a gold edition available. I mean, it's Snooker. Snooker, that's well done. If you're looking for a more realistic take on the genre with loads of proper players and a great presentation, then either of these are ones to go for. The Gold Edition includes 50 extra challenges that are DLC for the base game. Now just remember guys, we have purchase links below as to where you can find each of these games. If you're around the world and need to bolster your collection with these European exclusives, some from Amazon, some from PlayAsia, which if you use those links then you can support us at the same time, massively so. And also if you use those PlayAsia links, the PlayAsia ones, then you can also get a very nice 5% off if you use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV while checking out. That's all one word, SwitchWatchTV on PlayAsia while checking out for 5% off any physical item. And right now for July, it is free shipping month, so get your orders in now. Although of course some of these games are quite old and so are very much out of stock almost everywhere, so you may have to troll eBay or other second-hand markets for some of these, so apologies for that. Alright, let's face it, Rugby Challenge 4 was hardly ever going to get a North American release, was it? Well, it's not exactly common in the UK or Europe either, since it's one of the harder to find Switch games for a reasonable price, although maybe the Aussie version is cheaper. Anyways, it's Rugby. I think Rugby fans will take anything they can get their hands on these days. Big Pharma sounds like it definitely should be American release, but no, this is European only. It's a management sim. I'm thinking it's kind of like Theme Hospital minus the comedy. A little bit of puzzle elements thrown in too. The physical release, which is going fairly cheap in places these days, includes a sticker sheet, origami heart, and some DLC. Very nice indeed. Tale of Synapse is a brand new release, releasing just this week. If you watch my weekly physicals video on Monday, I confirmed that there's no North American release, so if you want a co-op platformer that invites you to solve math problems in a very unique game, then check this one out. It has a cool art style and premise. There's a standard release as well as a collector's edition, which includes a soundtrack CD, art book, keyring, and stickers. Baobabs Mausoleum is a game that tries its hard to be weird, wacky, and what the and it pretty much succeeds. This is point and click RPG sort of thing. I don't know, I've watched the trailer, I have no idea, but what I do know is that the developers were definitely smoking something when they made it. The physical edition, the Groundhouse edition, comes with some extra goodies as well. Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun is the best physical North America never got. Okay, maybe there's some slight bias in that, but yes, this is an endlessly cheerful rhythm game that's best played with the overpriced drum controller. It is so much fun. Check out my review, I advise you to do so. Now, the European version isn't massively easy to get a hold of, so the Asian version may be a slightly cheaper alternative that plays in English after a download. I've put links below for that one as well. Grave Danger is a cheap side-scrolling action puzzle platformer for 1 or 2 players to play cooperatively. Despite looking a little on the budgeted side, it's supposedly half decent if nothing exceptional. Kind of a bit old school. If you enjoyed 16-bit mascot platformers, then this might be an okay one to add to your collection. Maybe. Phar Lap is a tough one to get a hold of. It's a horse racing game, something hardly 10 a penny on the Switch, at least not in English-speaking countries. There's quite a few in Japan, but hey, apparently we don't like horses as much as Japanese people. One would guess this is an Australian game, but it did get a physical release in the UK, although hardly widespread. One to add to the collection if you need something that will be tough to find in the future. Plus, it's something a bit different. Pode is a really cute cooperative puzzle game. I reviewed this way back when, and it really is a nice game. A little tough too, much better when played with a partner. This physical release in Europe released way after the digital one, so many people forgot about it. It also has a beautiful collector's edition called the Artisan Edition, which has some fantastic artwork. Road to Guangdong did release in Asia, but also released in Europe as well. This is a driving management sim as you go on a road trip to the eponymous Chinese city with a relative in tow. If you're looking for an interactive story set in a nostalgic time, this could be a decent one to take a look at. It's not going to break the bank either. Doraemon Story of Seasons is yet another Bandai special. Yes, for some reason they thought, let's not release this utterly charming farming life sim in North America physically. why? It's a massive pity because it's a great game if you're into farming life sims such as Story of Seasons. Some may even enjoy this more despite the lack of getting married in this one of the essentials that the US missed out on. X-Morph Defense is a hybrid mix of top-down shooter and tower defense game, and it was rather well received as well. Featuring a nice sci-fi setting and plenty of content, this is a top quality game if you're into something a bit different and enjoy either of the genres that it tries to mash together. Odd then that the physical is exclusive to Europe, and yet they use the North American spelling for defense. What is going on there? I don't like it. Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 released physically in Europe but not North America. When it comes to anime adaptations to video games, the Ultimate Ninja Storm series of games are considered some of the best. This is a fighting game set in 3D arenas with over 100 playable characters. That can't be true, can it? I just had a look. It says 100, but I don't believe 100. And the gameplay is pretty badass to go along with it. Juan reviewed this for the channel, and North Americans need to import this bad boy either from Europe or maybe a Japanese copy, as that does have English too. Maybe that's easier to get a hold of these days. Warborn is a science fiction hex strategy game with a mech anime twist. It's hardly Super Robot Wars, a slightly budgeted version of it in fact, but if you're looking for a decent strategy game, then this one has got your back. It may help you spend your time until the Advance Wars remake comes out or the next Super Robot Wars game in October. And there we have it guys, 20 physical releases that North America did not get, but Europe did, all chosen at random. If you enjoyed this, I do plan on making more if this proves popular enough. In fact, I've already written them and pretty much made them, so you better like it, you better like it. Links are below if you want to purchase them. Remember, every Monday I tell you all the physical releases coming. James takes you through some of the digital bargains on Sunday, and we also have a smattering of lists that may appeal to you, such as this one. Thanks to our executive producers Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumo, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, J-Cross7776, Elissa, Punky Dooster, Michael Del Polito, Cigar Trucker, Cartoon Soren, Jack Severus Vilas, and Robotech. If you watched all the way through, you are a massive legend. The longer you watch, the more YouTube likes us and spreads the word of SwitchWatch. So, considering this video is region based, leave me an emoji of the flag of the country where you are from. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.